Low. Harper's Bazaar reporting that the actress and singer is launching her own skincare line. Lopez says she decided to do her own products after getting questions about her personal skincare regime. The 49-year-old is not saying exactly what will be the name of her line, and it's not expected to drop until late 2019.
Some of that is genetics. I don't care what anybody says. Meanwhile, heating water for laundry, dishes, washing your dishes and bathing is the second biggest expense in your home. Consumer Reports has tips to bring those costs way down. Here's Better Call Harry.
How long do you spend in a hot shower?
10 minutes.
20 minutes. Usually 20 minutes if there's music, maybe 30.
About 5 minutes.
On the weekend, I'll spend like 45 minutes.
Nearly 20% of water used in the average household comes out of the shower. A standard shower head releases 2.5 gallons of water a minute. Consumer Reports says that replacing with a low-flow, WaterSense approved head that uses 2 gallons per minute or less can save you 2,900 gallons a year. And a few habit changes can make a big difference. First, try a shorter shower and quit letting the water run when shaving or brushing your teeth. After scraping, there is no need to rinse dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. You're essentially cleaning them twice, and you could cause the dishwasher sensors to adjust to a lighter wash and not get them clean. For best results in energy savings, always run your dishwasher fully loaded, and consider replacing your old dishwasher. New energy-efficient models use as little as 4 gallons per load. Did you know that 90% of your clothes washer's energy goes to heating the water? Using warm water instead of hot for your laundry can cut a load's energy use in half, and using cool water will save even more. Consumer Reports test showed your clothes will still get clean.
Because energy-efficient washers operate at cooler temperatures, detergents have been reformulated to do a fine job in cool water.
And a word about leaks. From faucets, shower heads, or toilets, 1 drip per second wastes, ready for this, nearly 1,700 gallons of water a year. That's a lot of short showers. Here's one more tip from Consumer Reports. To see if your toilet's leaking, and I didn't even know this, put a few drops of food coloring into the tank. In 10 minutes, if there is color in the bowl, you've got a leak. I'm Better Call Harry with your Consumer Reports.
Now on CBS 46 News at 5.
You will watch over all of us.
An emotional goodbye to a fallen officer and friend.
So, Officer Flores, well done. We got it from here. I'll see you at the final formation.
A Cobb County jury awards a family millions of dollars after their loved one died during a cosmetic procedure. I'll have the emotional story.
This is not what it looks like. It's one reason vaping is now a health epidemic among teens. 'Tis the season to be on the lookout for Grinches stealing Christmas right off of front porches. Fortnite is a tough game to beat. Now a list of artists are trying.
I just feel like I have to protect what's mine.
First, at 5 tonight, nearly 6 years after a woman died following a cosmetic procedure in Kennesaw, her family has been awarded $60 million. I'm Sean Gables.
Hi, everybody. I'm Thomas Roberts. Sharon is off today. The family of April Jenkins was in Cobb County in the courtroom when a jury ruled in their favor, ending years of pain, years of suffering. CBS 46 has been investigating the doctor and medical practice involved in this incident for more than 5 years now. And CBS 46's Adam Murphy is live in downtown Marietta. Adam, explain what it was like in that courtroom today.
Thomas, it was very emotional for the Jenkins family here in Cobb County State Court today. When that verdict came down, they said this does provide some closure. But what really upset them, the doctor involved in all of this, Dr. Nedra Dodds, was a no-show. Not only was she a no-show, she had no legal representation inside the courtroom. A bizarre setting, quite honestly, for this civil trial. But inside that courtroom, it was a unanimous decision today by the jury as they came down with this ruling in the courtroom. And also, the attorneys for Jenkins family asked for $15 million for their loss, but the jury awarded them $60 million. Now, April Jenkins died 5 years ago following a liposuction procedure with Dr. Nedra Dodds at Opulence Aesthetic Medicine in Kennesaw. That business is now out of business, and the money is to be paid out through the now defunct company's insurance provider. The legal team representing the Jenkins family says they are confident they will collect all of the money.
Well, $60 million is a lot of money, and plus
like I say, all the money in the world couldn't bring her back. I would have preferred her being here more so than the money. But that's God's will, and His will be done. And
now the family, of course, for Jenkins is certainly dealing with all of this, a lot to process in a very short amount of time. I will say that her lawyers tell me they will be back in court next year representing yet another victim, which is Erica Bobred. And that family also dealing with their tragic loss of Erica, who died at this same facility from a similar procedure. And that will happen next year. Sean?
This is just eye-opening, Adam. For one, you know, a $60 million judgment is huge, but there's so many questions. With Dr. Dodds not being there, will she be able to appeal this? And then could she file bankruptcy and not have to ever pay a dime? And the other question is, she's still practicing medicine in Metro Atlanta.
Well, there's a lot to sort out here. At this point in time, we know that she is no longer practicing. In fact, the medical board in the state of Georgia pulled her license after these incidents happened and we exposed them. And as far as the appeal is concerned, we're not anticipating that at this point in time. She certainly knew about the civil trial, and she and her team made the decision not to be here.
All right, Anna Murphy reporting for us live tonight. I appreciate that update. Meanwhile, CBS 46 has been investigating this case, as we mentioned, since 2013. That's when questions of misconduct first surrounded the physician who was performing cosmetic procedures. Back in 2014, the state medical board suspended Dr. Dodd's license. Then in February of 2016, a grand jury indicted Dr. Dodds for felony murder. Last January, the Cobb County DA dropped the criminal charges, clearing the way for the civil trial.
Well, I'm voting that we keep the weather the way it is today for a few weeks. Wouldn't this be nice? We topped out at 65 degrees today. Looking good in Marietta, still 62 degrees, average highs 53, so well above normal for this time of year. Let's take a look at some current temperatures. Marietta at 58 degrees, Douglasville at 61, getting in the act in the 60s. On the south side, Jonesboro at 62, Lawrenceville topped out in the 60s today, right now cooling to 59 degrees. Doing this all over, temperatures will start in the 30s over the most part and topping out in the upper 50s. More on the rain on the way, that Christmas forecast, and so much more. Stay tuned. Let's get checked now on Pinpoint Traffic. Here's Julie Smith.
And Paul, right now, this is a gorgeous picture of the sun starting to set, but the traffic not so much. You can see those flashing lights here off to the side. This is southbound I-85 right at I-75 up ahead. The good news that that accident has cleared, but again, the delays are really heavy still behind that, as you can see, all the way back to Georgia 400. An update on this accident, southbound 285 on the inner loop into DeKalb County at La Vista Road. Delays still heavy behind that one, mainly through Spaghetti Junction, but the whole top end of the perimeter moving very slowly as well. As you can see here, those drive times, especially eastbound, Cobb Cloverleaf over to Spaghetti Junction, just 27 miles per hour. The other direction, just 21. That's your Pinpoint Traffic.
Thank you, Julie. You can also get CBS 46 Pinpoint weather and traffic right on your smartphone. Text CBS 46 to the number 23765 to download the CBS 46 News app.
So it's a somber day for law enforcement across Georgia. Officers from across our state attending the funeral for DeKalb County Police Officer Edgar Flores. Flores was shot and killed last week. CBS 46's Megan Packer attended that funeral, joining us now live from All Saints Catholic Church in Dunwoody. And Megan, as we saw, so many people came out today to pay their respects. Such a hard story, too.
Absolutely, very emotional here, Thomas, and so many of the people at this funeral service today were members of law enforcement. They wanted to be here for DeKalb Police and Officer Flores' family.
This was a day to honor and remember a life taken too soon.
Officer Flores embodied the type of police officer that every community would want.
Officers from all over Georgia and beyond filled the pews of this Dunwoody church to say goodbye to a brother in blue. On the day after what would have been his 25th birthday, mourners honor the life of Officer Edgar Flores.
We stand sending a message to those who disrespect our law enforcement that there is no place for this in this county, in our state, or in this nation.
The DeKalb County police officer was shot and killed last week, leaving behind a fiance, brother, and parents, along with his family at the police department.
On stage is the entirety of Class 110. This is what remains. There was 4 of us, 1 was taken, there's 3 of us, and we have our lead instructor.
He had been on the force not even 2 years, but it's clear he was cherished, known for his big smile and love for his family. Officer Justin Hamilton says policing is what Officer Flores was born to do, and he recalled the last time he saw his friend.
And I told you I'll see you later, and we gave each other a hug. And if I'd known that was going to be the last time I'd seen you, I would have hugged you just a little bit harder. So Officer Flores, well done. We got it from here. I'll see you at the final formation.
You can see some extremely emotional moments there today inside the church, emotional for so many people attending. We learned so much more about the kind of man Officer Flores was. The police chief for DeKalb County awarded his family a Medal of Honor as well as a medallion for his service. And there was an appearance by the police canine Indy. The dog was shot while catching the suspect, officers say, shot Officer Flores. Indy lost an eye but is doing very well. We'll have more on that part of the story ahead at 6. I'm reporting live in Dunwoody. Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
Very powerful eulogies today, Megan. Thank you. Another funeral is scheduled for Officer Flores tomorrow morning. It starts at 11 a.m. at Prince of Peach Catholic Church in Flowery Branch. Now, we've posted the details for Officer Flores' funeral on our free app. You can also read more about the investigation into his death. To download it for free, just text CBS 46 to 23765.
New at 5, Snellville looking for a new mayor. Ex-Mayor Thomas Witz resigned as part of a plea deal worked out with Gwinnett County. Yesterday, he entered an Alford plea to charges including tax evasion and theft. That means he does not admit to the crimes, but he does accept the punishment. Glenn Marshall is live in Snellville. And Glenn, just break it down. What punishment will he exactly get?
Well, he could have faced up to 600 years in prison, but due to that plea deal, he's only going to face 10 years probation. In the meantime, the city of Snellville is looking for a new mayor.
For 3 years, 68-year-old Thomas Witz served as Snellville's mayor. That ended when Gwinnett County's DA's office settled a case against him. Back in 2017, Witz was indicted on 66 charges, which included tax evasion, theft, and lying under an oath. On Monday, Witz entered an Alford plea, which defendants used to say they're not admitting to crime, but accepts the punishment. His punishment could have been more than 600 years behind bars. The judge settled with a 10-year probation. City Manager Butch Sanders told us Snellville appreciates his time served, and they're moving on with finding his replacement.
Our next meeting is January the 14th. At that time, we'll have to, through consultation with our city attorney, know how to proceed with replacing the mayor's position. I think probably we'll have, could potentially have an internal appointment. There'll be just a mayoral appointment, and then we'll have to go from there.
And the person who replaces Witz will only serve no more than 1 year. That's because next November, the city will hold their mayoral election. Live here in Snellville, and Glenn Marshall, CBS 46 News.